Hey everybody, Mark Ahrensberg here with The Pure Now Show. This is episode number 21. My guest today is Dan Nguyen. Dan is a creative director, visual artist, and DJ. He's a Vietnamese American currently living in Los Angeles, connecting Western culture with Eastern culture. It's great to have him on the show. Here we go. Hey Dan.
Hey, what's up, Mark?
All good, man. Thank you so much for coming back on the Pure Now Show. We've been trying to make this happen for a little bit. You're a busy guy out there doing the art thing in the world, and I'm glad that we got a chance to figure out a time when we could both get together and talk about this and that.
Thank you for having me again.
Of
Very
course.
excited.
The reason we say again is we actually recorded this show several months ago, but we had some technical difficulties. And it was a great show, but the audio was unusable. So now It's all good, and we're in new places with new things to talk about, along with the other stuff. So I'm kind of excited. First of all, are you still or back in California? Is that where you are?
Yeah, I'm in California now, in Los Angeles. So I don't think I'm going to go anywhere for a few months at least.
What's up with you right now? What do you got going on?
Well, I just got back from the desert from Coachella, which is the largest festival in the United States. It's an arts and music festival. It's been going on for, I think, like maybe 15, 17 years. But I was privileged enough to be on the lineup and had a great 5 days out in the desert and played a huge show, thousands of people. Still, reeling from the experience, still feeling surreal. So today's kind of my first day back into civilization, because usually after a big show or a big spiritual, emotional experience, I like to give myself a day or two to just kind of ground myself, decompress, process everything that happened to make sure I intake all the gems that I was exposed to during the experience. So it was pretty amazing. So I'm, feeling very empowered by that. I met a lot of great artists, saw a lot of great music and art, very inspired. So yeah, that's the freshest thing on my mind right now. I'm
impressed that you can do that grounding in 2 days, because 2 times at Burning Man, it took me a week to take all that in and feel it and then return to Earth, as it were, because that is an outer planetary experience, out of body, out of mind, out of control, amazing thing. And I know that Coachella is very similar in nature, but you were actually performing as a DJ, correct?
Yes, I was. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's hear about that a little bit, because I don't think a lot of our listening audience is familiar with this particular event, like Burning Man and Coachella. Burning Man's been around since the 80s, maybe? Or
I think so, yeah.
Late 80s, early 90s?
Late 80s, early 90s, yeah.
Started out on Baker Beach in San Francisco with like 5 people, and then now it's hundreds of thousands of people in the desert in Reno. Coachella also started as a smaller music festival, but now is the largest music festival in the world, I believe, annually. So tell me what that experience was like for you.
This is actually my 3rd time playing. The first time was in 2015 in one of the smaller stages, and then the second time was 2019 on a bigger stage. And in 2019, I felt like I was very grateful to be there, and I was taking it in, but I didn't get a chance to really decompress afterwards or before or during the festival, because it's a 3-day festival with 2 weekends. I was running around in the desert trying to catch different performances and things like that. So I felt that time it was amazing. But this time, I mentally prepared like a long time before going. And then afterwards, like I said, I took some time to really absorb everything. So I feel like this time, even though it's my 3rd time, I felt like I was really able to benefit from all that that creativity and that energy. And it was intense in a great way. I came in with open mind, not expecting anything. I prepared my set like a month before. I tried not to overthink it. And then I got up there, I performed. I'm very happy with my set. Because sometimes, even though I spend hours, weeks, months preparing for a set, sometimes it still doesn't feel right. And also the execution, the performance of it is a totally different aspect of the set. So all the preparation, you can prepare and, be like, this is the perfect performance. This is the perfect journey that I'm going to take people through. And then when you step on stage, the execution, the performance of it, something might happen. You might be tired. You might not be mentally there. Maybe equipment malfunction. Anything can happen where it can affect the execution, and it's two different sides of the same coin. So fortunately, this time the execution and the preparation, everything was on par with my standards. I really push myself every performance, every exhibit, every job that I do. I try to give it my utmost best. I try to offer the best experience to people, the best product, and I'm constantly trying to elevate myself. Sometimes that's a curse because I might be too critical on my work, but I like to think, yeah, whatever. I try to balance it. So this time it was great. It was amazing. I'm really happy with it. Other people, of course, were totally, and that's another thing. Sometimes the audience, they don't see what's going on in your head. They just experience it from their side. And there's times where people were like, yo, that was amazing. But for me, it wasn't, because some technical thing or, it didn't live up to what I imagined. So, playing music and DJing for like 15, 20 years, that's still something I'm figuring out for myself. I'm still learning. And I think, that's a part of what makes me who I am. So I've learned to accept my ultra critical brain, my maybe impossible standard for myself. But this time it was all like, wow. I was like, wow, okay, that was wow. Like I impressed myself, because I try to impress myself no matter what. And I know that impressing myself first will come off as I think as good to others, because the standard I set myself to is just, it's really intense, so I enjoy it and it also drives me, but sometimes I need to shut that part out because, as artists, like we're our own worst critics, right? So I try to use that as momentum. But when I realize that's holding me back, I'm like, it's not good enough, then I try to quell that because, they say perfectionism is, I forgot what the quote was, but it's basically saying if you're trying to be perfect, sometimes that messes you up. You don't get progress out of that. So,
well, I think your 15,000 hours of investment plus into your craft is that support mechanism. So although this is super personal that you're doing, everything will kick in. There has to be a certain level of trust with yourself too, that you have prepared, you've done the work. It's not your first time. And that certain extraneous things are going to happen. But if you're physically and emotionally prepared, chances are you're going to put on a good show and you don't have to worry too much about it. And everybody's going to love what you do anyway, because they have no clue. I mean, it's all fresh to them. It's a spontaneous experience. You've practiced, you've rehearsed, you've gone through the motions. They don't know any of that. They only know the end product. Just like with any of your art. And you're a multidisciplinary artist. And I'm interested to know where that's gone, because I know you're big into the public art scene. You've been featured on Museum, the Long Beach Arts Council. You're kind of everywhere. You're Vietnamese American, trying to bridge some of that cultural divide too, and leveraging that in communications for people who see your exhibits and your work. And where are you in that world? Also with your commercial work, what have you been doing? What have you been taking on? Because I know a lot of things can change in whatever the several months are since the last time I spoke to you.
Yeah, totally. What's fresh on top of my mind is I just released, well, I didn't just release it. I released it in February, is a Vietnamese new wave compilation, which unearths a lot of Vietnamese American music made by Vietnamese Americans and Vietnamese refugees in the 80s, in the late 80s, early 90s. So I archived, it's a music archival project. So I've been working on it for the last 10, 15 years, just finding these old tracks, going to, Vietnamese record stores, asking them like, hey, do you guys have any of these old CDs from the 80s still, or tapes, etc. So it's been a passion project of mine for 10, 15 years, and I finally released it a few months ago. And culturally and spiritually for me, it was such a big deal because, one, the perfection thing, I didn't release it for so many years. I was like, I can find more songs than I have now that can add to the release, or I was editing it or remixing it. I'm like, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. This is such a big project, and it's so important for me and for other Vietnamese Americans. I really want it to be good. And, I was originally going to drop it in 2014, 2013, and that perfectionist brain, that critique, like held me back, And then, I talked to a lot of my friends and they're like, bro, you got to drop this. So I've been playing the music out in my DJ sets a lot. So a lot of people have heard it in Vietnam, in America, all over the world. And some of them are, they relate me to that music because that's the first time they heard it. So I finally dropped that project and it was such a relief. And, I dropped it for me, like, okay, let's put this out because I'm tired of critiquing myself and trying to be perfect. But after its release, so many Vietnamese Americans, Vietnamese Europeans, Australians, like, I got so much support from it. They're like, wow, like, a lot of the comments were like, we never heard of this music before. And the other comments that I got were, we remember our parents playing this stuff, our aunties and uncles. And, we heard like the cheesy versions, but what you gave us is like the more like cool, darker versions, et cetera, et cetera. So the response was overwhelming. And I was like, whoa, like, I guess we all resonate with this, So a little bit about the music itself is, the project is 7 songs. They're edits of the original. So what an edit is, it's kind of a remix, but it holds a lot of the original integrity of the song. So generally remixes change like the whole beat and they just keep the vocals from the original, or, there's new verses added, things like that. But in an edit, the term edit comes from the DJ world. An edit, it can be the same song, but maybe the drum breaks are extended or light extra stuff here and there. Like it's garnished, there's a little bit of flavor onto it. So I released 7 edits and called it V-Wave, Vietnamese New Wave. So they're songs that came from the mid 80s, early 90s, made in Orange County in Little Saigon in California.
And I want to go into that a little bit about your public art and how you've reached out to your community in California, and you've had exhibits all over the world. And what is that like for you? What are you doing with that now? And how has that affected others? Because that is also, even though you do that for yourself, there's also some selflessness mixed with the selfishness in there, that you want to present work, you want others to see that you're just a dude doing it. Other dudes can do it. You can do it, dudes and dudettes. Other people can make these things happen, but you're an executor. You do it. What does that look like for you now? Where is your work being shown, and what is the response from that work, and how is that connecting you to your community?
Yeah, I'm still, knee deep in mural and public work as ever. I feel like I won't ever really stop doing it. So, still continuing, still smashing, still pushing onward. For public art, the philosophy that I approach public art is, it's for the public. Everyone will see it. Like even people who aren't looking for it, even people who don't really like art, or who, they might consider themselves like, yeah, we don't really care about art. Like it's cool. Like they'll still drive by the wall or walk by it. So when I approach a wall, it's like how I approach design and agency work. I ask myself first, where will this live? Who will see it? What purpose will it serve? And from there, I combine that with my own intention, my own creativity, and then I create the product. So some people, as with playing music or whatever, they're like, hey, we're just going to play what we want to hear. And that's totally fine. For me, I like to incorporate the scenery and the listener, the observer into my work as well. Because for me, public art is, half of it is for me, the other half is, for the public. I know it sounds obvious, but some people paint murals and they just paint what they want to see, and it might not relate to the public or to the wall, or it might be abstract. Excuse me. But for me, like for instance, like a first step, like let's say if I'm approached to paint a mural in, a big wall in a neighborhood or in a restaurant or on the side of the building, like I will spend most of my time studying that area first. I will study like the community there, what communities are there, what they're into. I will, find out about other muralists in that area. I will learn about the history of the street art in that area. Especially for Los Angeles, there's a really rich mural history in Los Angeles. So, basically like it's an exchange of energy between myself and the area. I like to look at it as like a gift, like, hey, this is what I learned from you guys. I'm taking that energy, putting it through my way, my filter, and then I'm putting it on the wall. And I wasn't always like this. When I first started painting public art in the 90s, I was like, 14, 15. It was just mostly about me. Like, yo, I get to paint on the wall and everyone's going to see it. I'm going to do whatever I want. And that was great. I loved that. I had to do that to get to where I am now. So now I still do that. I still do whatever I want. But now one of the things that I want is to bring enjoyment and positivity and pride to whoever's looking at the mural. But I won't change my idea. So I don't want people to be confused. I'm not looking around and being like, people like Pac-Man, so I'm going to paint Pac-Man. It's not like that. I'm like, I come in with my intention first, and I'm like, people like Pac-Man, maybe I'll put like a circular yellow shape somewhere in the thing that won't compromise my work, won't compromise my intention. And I love doing that because it's challenging for me. Like I'm like, oh, okay, like you guys like Pac-Man? This is a black and white wall. How can I incorporate Pac-Man in there where I'm satisfied and the community is satisfied too? Because I really believe in a reciprocal exchange. Like I don't want to just be like I don't feel right if I get on stage and I'm like, here's all the weird music I listen to. I don't care if you guys like it. If you don't like it, you can leave. Some DJs and artists are like that, which totally that's fine. But for me, like I want to like trip people out while they're in their comfort zone. I want people to feel like we have a connection. We're sharing an experience together, and that dictates a lot of my work, my agency work, my creative director work. It works really well if you're pitching to, Samsung, because I'm already used to intaking what they want, what people want, doing the research, and then filtering it through myself. So when I get feedback from my work from clients and stuff, I'm just like, oh, okay, I see your point. Some of my other CD friends are like, we hate you, you client. Why are you feeding back? Why you give us feedback? Just take our word. But me, I like the feedback. I'm like, oh, that's how you think? Because it's all psychology to me, artwork, music, it makes you feel something. So when you feel something, there's a lot of psychology and philosophy in that. And it's just understanding human nature. It helps me understand myself, helps me understand my clients, people, so I love that whole hey, let's do it together. I love that exchange, Don't get me wrong. There's times where I get feedback and I'm like, no, that's ugly. Or I'm not doing that, but for the most part, I like to keep an open mind because I feel like I can always learn something when my mind is open. The client might point out something I've never seen before, and I might use that in my next work. So for public art, it's the same philosophy that when I create anything that is seen by the public.